Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've handled all comers through the first 3 months, a perfect 12-0.
Yeah, they're 3/4 of the way to a perfect season, and now is where it really starts to get into your mind. We'll see if it affects their play in any way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, and he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Set 15 Lonnie. 15 Lonnie.
Pick your game up.
Ready.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And 2 stop.
52. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 28-yard line.
2.
That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Flipper. Hey.
Sit down.
Rock it.
Now a give, right side. Boyce. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down now, Boyce. Touchdown, Vikings! A big play there. With touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. You talk about explosion plays. There's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate. Big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
10 logo.
Take back.
5.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. That is catch number 300 now for his NFL career.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every...
Fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
This is taken at the 15.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Now come the Packers for their next drive as we take a look at the playoff race in the NFC coming into the weekend. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Looking to throw. Vernon. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
94.
To throw on 3rd down. Vernon. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this will be touched by a member of the kicking team inside the 20, and it's at the 17-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety. They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
They'll run on 1st down. Boyce. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football. They'll face a third down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3.
Hey, Sam off. Check. Lucky.
They'll try the left side. Boyce. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Back. Look at me. Zipper. No. Five.
Right back to Sanders on first down. Room here to run. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
High 7. Hard. Joker. On the ball. They go.
They'll try the left side. Boyce. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
Ready.
We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4.
He's checking crack. Get it.
Now a give, right side. Boyce. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
Leo. Go. Rock it. Let's go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. On 2nd down, Boyce. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
The point after is good, and that will get him one closer. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On third down, Boyce. And he will have a first down as they get into the ground at the 37. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Boyce. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
50, check. Yes. Look at me. Go.
On third down, they turn to Sanders. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Now! Hey, Sam off! Watch the twins! Let's go!
Now a give, right side. Boyce. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. They'll try the left side. Boyce. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Sanders. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They'll run. It's Sanders. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Check 50. Hard.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Delta. 54. Pick me up. Here we go. Ready.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Ready.
The The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
10-2 soft.
So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin our trip around the NFL with an interesting one right off the bat. And those two are tied up as they play the second quarter. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Mike Evans, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. The Pats seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And an alley to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Packers. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. And people still trying to get back to their seats from the concession stand here at the start of the third quarter, and boom, we got points on the board.
And you just identified why the bulk of stadiums have increased presence in the concession areas, right? TVs, loudspeakers, so people can still follow the game. And right now, they're bummed out that they missed that big return to start this half.
Now a two-point conversion attempt forthcoming.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
From the gun, Vernon. And this one complete to Smith. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Recon, 132 fighter. Whip, go. Watch the whip. Rock it. He's coming, double up. Right up.
On 3rd down, Boyce. And it would appear he's going to be short of a first down as he stopped right around the 29. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Alpha. Check 15. Hey. Check guard. Check 3. Check go.
Going for it with Sanders. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Fourth down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On first down, Boyce. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce down to the 25. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
On 3rd down, it's Sanders. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Hey, General West. Check 25. Snap.
They'll run on first down. Boyce. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eaten up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Look at me, zipper. Check. Look at me, door. Ready?
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 14 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They're down in this game, a chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Packers who have the football, but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Back to throw. Vernon. And he's got his man on the out route. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down. Operating from the gun. Vernon, nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Packers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Vernon, and he's able to find Diggs. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. From the gun, Vernon. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Back to throw. Vernon. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 6 yards away, as his guys are back within a single score. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And out now come the Vikings. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Check hot route. Hot. Ready.
They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Hey, Charlie. 54's Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Looking to throw. Looking here for Smith downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And sensing the momentum maybe changing here a little bit, Charles.
Yeah, this defense is going to get off the field quickly, and their offense got them a touchdown last time they had the ball, so they should get another shot.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So the Packers down on the scoreboard, and time a huge factor, and they're in danger of a 3rd straight loss as they come up on 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Vernon nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Daniil Hunter getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He's back to throw. It's complete to Diggs. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on fourth down. On fourth down, Vernon, and Diggs has it. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did.
They won't, and offensively, your challenge, should you choose to accept it, take care of the football and run out the clock. They can't just go and turtle, as we like to call it, just tuck in and just sit on the ball here. Try and get that first down and finish the game off.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
On first down, Boyce. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come. Look, squeeze. Check. Get it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Boyce.
It's running.
8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2.
Ready.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
Watch Mike. All day, baby, all day.
On 3rd down, Boyce. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
X3, 218, chop. Hard. Watch out. Bang. Big grip.
Now a give, right side. Boyce. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go by.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you got to feel good about your chances.
That game's gone final now at Heinz Field, and it was the Steelers that came away victorious there. Mason Rudolph, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field.
Here we go. 10 logo. Slip. Get it ready.
On 1st and 10, Vernon. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Justin Lane there defensively that time to knock it free. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Vernon. And a quick throw here. That's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Looking to throw. Vernon. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
On fourth down, Vernon nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Tack McKinley, and the Vikings are going to win this football game. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. Pick up the ball. Alert. Go. Check out. Go out. 5.
They'll run on first down. Boyce. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
Man up, deep. Bravo. 52. Mike 52. You ain't going nowhere.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it, and they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Vikings, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's another week to forget as they're going to fall to 1-12 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.